to the Nintendo 64, not simply the desire for more processing power. Oh, also, Boo's voice in this game is just Bowser's voice sped up. In Super Mario RPG, there are multiple differences between the North American and Japanese versions. One difference is that Bowser's End of Victory battle animations are altered in the North American version of the game due to the Japanese victory animation resembling an obscene gesture in the West, where a person thrusts their arm upwards, essentially meaning, "Up yours!" Another difference is that in the North American version of the game, after speaking to the Chancellor for the first time, if you go into Princess Toadstool's room, you can look behind her fireplace to find Toadstool's question mark, question mark, question mark. At first, her grandmother will push you away and give you something in exchange for not looking there. If the princess has joined your party by this point in the game, and you try looking at that object, she'll angrily scold Mario. In the Japanese version, the princess is named Peach, and the object is referred to as Peach's XXX. The name was changed for obvious reasons. It's never been revealed what the object was in-game or by the game's developers, but it doesn't take much imagination to guess what it was originally intended to be. That's all for today, but don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Make sure you also check out digiknowgaming.com, where we post gaming trivia multiple times a day, every day. If you like this video, check out our other videos. And if you like Mario so much, go check out Game Grumps playing Super Mario Bros. Wii. Hey, it's great. Did you know that according to the Super Mario World instruction manual, the sunken ghost ship just outside the Valley of Bowser is actually a crashed airship used by the Koopalings in Super Mario Bros. 3? The only clue to this connection in the game is a ball with a question mark in it that Mario collects at the end of the level. This is one of the same balls that's acquired when Mario defeats a Boom Boom in Super Mario Bros. 3. The Boom Booms were encountered multiple times through the game, and some of them were in airships. The fact that that ship is full of ghosts could also be implying all the common enemies on board had died during the event that sunk the ship. In Super Mario Galaxy 2, if you switch to first-person view in the Shiverburn Galaxy during the missions Prince Picante's Peppery Mood and Octo Army Icy Rainbow Romp, then look up at the cliffs in the scenery, 3 shadowy figures can be seen staring down at you. As you progress through the level, if you stop and look up to the left at any point, they'll be there, as if they're following you. You can't go closer to inspect them. You can't even reach them by hacking the game, as they appear to be a texture that's always rendered at a fixed distance from Mario. You never meet these figures in the game, and nobody in the game ever refers to them or even mentions their existence. A member over at GoNintendo.com with the alias Grrr Tacos got curious about the figures and started to search through Super Mario Galaxy 2's game data. They discovered that the shadowy figures themselves are labeled Hell Valley Sky Tree and are associated with the sky model for that area called Beyond Hell Valley. Hell Valley isn't the name of that level or any level in Mario Galaxy 2. It was supposedly the name of a beta level that didn't make it to the final cut, but it doesn't particularly sound like a name you'd see in a Mario game, and that doesn't explain why or how the texture found its way into Shiverburn Galaxy. A lack of any kind of explanation from Nintendo has led to all kinds of creepypasta posts and rampant speculation among fans. It seems they'll remain a mystery until Nintendo reveals what they are. The official story for the original Super Mario Bros. Game contains a dark secret. According to the game's instruction booklet, one day the Mushroom Kingdom was invaded by the Koopas, a tribe of turtles who use their black magic to transform the Mushroom People into stones, bricks, and even plants. The only person who can undo the Koopa spell is Princess Toadstool, who's being held captive by Bowser. Completing the game and freeing Princess Toadstool ensures the curse is lifted and all the residents that survived are transformed back. It sounds fairly tame, but think about what you actually do as Mario in the game. Shatter hundreds of brick blocks. You unwittingly massacred hundreds of innocent toads. There was once a direct sequel to Super Mario World in development called Super Mario's Wacky Worlds. The game was being developed by Novalogic under the contract between Philips and Nintendo that allowed Philips to develop some games using Nintendo characters. It was suggested to Novalogic by a Nintendo employee that they port simpler Super Nintendo games to the CDI rather than attempting to make complex games like The Legend of Zelda. This comment sparked the idea of having Super Mario World as a CDI disc-based game and ultimately led to the development of an entirely new game. Two designers worked worked 24 hours a day for 2 weeks straight, finishing only a part of a single level to present to Nintendo. Nintendo was actually very impressed with Novologic's efforts, but because of the poor sales of the CDI later in its life, they decided to cancel the game. Novologic were obviously disappointed, as they hoped the game would improve their reputation and clear their name after making several subpar games with Nintendo franchises. The game's final prototype was finished on March 3rd, 1993, after about a year of development. Approximately 80% of the game's art, 95% of its design, and 30% of its code was completed. Only 3 copies of these prototypes are in circulation, and as a result, the game's ROM was leaked online. The missing portion of code is clear to see, as Mario can only walk left, right, and jump. No power-ups exist in the game, and he can't slide or swim. Enemies disappear when Mario is above them, as if there's an incomplete stomping mechanic. Enemies also can't hurt Mario, and simply freeze when they're touched. Levels are completed by passing through a giant M, and there were around 3 levels in each world. The worlds were based around ancient cultures, haunted structures, a jungle, the Arctic, a chemistry lab with no graphics, as well as wacky and tubular worlds. Tubular being an homage to the special world in Super Mario World. Vivian, one of Mario's party members from Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door, was actually born a man. The earliest translation we could find of the Japanese text was from themushroomkingdom.net in May 2005. Vivian's party member description roughly translates to one of the Shadow Group. Vivian appears to be a girl, but is really a boy. There's also Goombella's tattle ability. When speaking about Vivian, Goombella will say,
"That's Vivian of the Shadow Group. She's the youngest sister. Brother."
Some dialogue has confused fans as to whether Vivian was born a man or a woman. One of Vivian's 2 sisters, Bedlam, uses the term Majotachi when referring to Vivian and her sisters as a group. Majotachi means a group of sorceresses, but this could just be because it's considered proper to refer to transgender persons as whatever gender they identify themselves as. Her sisters also refer to her as a man, though that could be meant as an insult. At the end of the game, Goombella concludes that Vivian is a woman. What's overlooked about this particular statement is that it could be vindication for Vivian, identifying her as a woman after her struggles with gender identity and ridicule from her sisters. While the English version was heavily censored, removing all traces of gender issues, other translations of the game stayed true to the original Japanese story. The Spanish version was practically unchanged, and the Italian version stated that Vivian was a woman but had previously been a man. That's all for today, but don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Make sure you also check out digiknowgaming.com, where we post gaming trivia multiple times a day, every day. If you like this video, check out our other videos. And hey, if you want more Mario, you should go over to Game Grumps. We're playing Mario Party. Mario Party 4. Come party with us.
Hello, it's me, Mario. Wahoo! You're watching Gamerspawn, my favorite. Wahoo! Well, it's been 20 years, maybe 21 years of absolute joy and fun. Being given the gift of doing Mario's voice for great games like Super Mario 3D Land and Luigi's Mansion 2 and Mario Kart 7. It's just a joy and a pleasure, and knowing that I'm doing a small thing, putting my voice to all the great creative stuff that is done in Nintendo, and that it brings people some joy and have a good time and have fun. You know, I actually crashed an audition 21 years ago. I wasn't invited. I walked in the door. The guy said, "Make up a voice for an Italian plumber from Brooklyn. Start talking, and whenever you stop talking, that's your audition." And I started off, well, I didn't do like a, "Hey, how you doing? I'm under your sink. Don't bother me," which is what the first thing that came to mind. But I started thinking, well, if it's going to be talking to children all day long, because we're going to be in a face mask with things glued to my face, and I would move my face and Mario would move his face. I thought, I'd never seen Mario. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what I was going in for, because the system had never been invented. And the producer said, "Well, we don't know if it's going to work or not, but either way, you're going to talk to people of all ages, so start talking. And when you run out of things to say, that's it." And I thought, instead of a voice that's gruff and harsh, I want to do something that children be more pleased to have, and more gentle and more embracing and more fun, and just by great circumstance, that's the voice that came out was, "It's me, Mario. Okie dokie, let's make a pizza pie together. You go get some sausage. I'm gonna get some spaghetti. We're gonna put the spaghetti and the sausage in the sweet pizza. Then I'm gonna chase you with the pizza. If I catch you with the pizza, you gotta chase me with the pizza. But first you gotta eat the pizza. Then you're gonna chase me. Then we're gonna make a spaghetti meatballs. If I make you the spaghetti meatballs, I catch you with the spaghetti meatballs. Then you gotta eat the meatballs. Oh, mamma mia!" And I don't know what I said, but for on and on and on for 30 minutes until I heard, "Cut, stop talking. There's no more tape. Thank you, we'll be in touch." And I thought at the time, well, okay, "we'll be in touch" means goodbye. We'll never call you. But of course, I left the room. The producer got on the phone and called Nintendo. I found our Mario, and that was the only videotape that they sent up to Redmond, Washington. And luckily for me, I think they heard it there, and Mr. Miyamoto has heard it then and beyond, and said, "That's the guy."
There's a Wario there. All right, you people, have a rotten day.
I love every character. Luigi, oh, Mario, he's fearful, but he's courageous because he goes ahead and does it anyway. And Wario, everything's a rotten day. That grumpiness that's a part of everybody's life. And Luigi, all of us feel sorry for ourselves and a little frustrated. All those characters are so fun because they have such real human dynamic, which I think is a piece of the genius of Mr. Miyamoto, is that these characters are very identifiable. You recognize those parts in yourself, and the part that that I love the most and the most to play is Mario, because it's a character full of life and joy and happiness, and faces challenges with a "wahoo, let's go," enthusiasm and joy, and of course is in love with the princess and rescues her. Yes, I do. Mario games are just about the only games I play, although I've been playing Zelda 2 lately because it's 25 years. It's so fantastic. But again, a tribute to Mr. Miyamoto and the characters that are so full of life and joy, and every time it's a better and more interesting, or another interesting, fascinating adventure. But I do play Mario games. My favorite right now is New Super Mario Bros. Wii, because I can play a sliding game much better than a 3D game. I still get confused a little bit with 3D, but I'll tell you, one of the things in Super Mario 3D Land is always in every game there is a playfulness of Mr. Miyamoto that comes out and comes forth, and everyone experiences it. And when you play this game, you'll see a new dimension of that, which we will really enjoy. It's really a tremendous honor and a tremendous joy, because I do, my part is doing what I love to do in life, and that's what I would say to anybody in life, is do what you love to do. Follow your heart, follow your passion, do what gives you joy and expresses the love that you have for life in your work. So when I think that my work has a good impact for children, that makes me very, very happy, and I just want to do more. No, I don't have any children myself, but I know I have 5 girls that I love and adore, that I was there for their childbirth and through their lives, and that's been a lot of fun. Well, it's funny. It's very cute because for them they're used to it every day. But of course, a friend of theirs comes over and they say, "Oh, by the way, Charlie, would you do that?" And I go, "Mamma mia, wahoo!" And ah. I do Mario talking in myself. I wake up in the morning, "Yahoo, okie dokie, la la la." I do things like that all the time. But I never do that, cross that line when I'm in public. Unless it's a Mario fan and someone says, "Oh, you're Charles Martinet," I go, "Wahoo," that sort of thing. But not just You ever go through that thing where you're clumsy and you drop stuff a lot? When I do that, then it's definitely Waluigi's. No doubt about it. Sure, I would say to anybody exactly that. Do what you love in life. Follow your heart. Express your love for your life and joy. And keep pursuing your passion, because you will have a great time in life. You will have fun, and life will be full and rich for you. So that's what I would say. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Follow your heart. Wait, put it in. Ready? Follow your heart. Follow your heart.
Anything Mario would like to say?
Thank you very much for playing my games. Wahoo! It's a me, Mario, and Wario. Have a rotten day.